Meet a woman from New York City.
My official name is Maria Yoon, but I'm better known as Maria the Korean Bride.
She's legitimately asking what our views are of marriage. So what better way to share our story with someone who's asking the question? It just seemed like a no-brainer.
Maria Yoon has come to Hawaii to do something that very few, if any, people do.
She had to go through all vanishing stuff to get that really nice thing.
And that nice thing is what?
Getting married with a rich guy named Prince Charming.
And others followed as she contacted friends and relatives, hung out in bars, and even posted ads on Craigslist.
One thing's for sure, Maria Yoon always has something new, the husband.
From the heart of Iowa, may I present Mr. and Ms. Maria the Korean Bride.
You may now kiss or whatever you real girls do.
Over the past 9 years, the last time January 16th in Detroit, all thanks to her very traditional Korean parents.
말하자면은 이 결혼이라는 것을 굉장히 이렇게 아주 신성하게 생각을 하는 게 있는 거야. 아주 그냥 굉장한 말하자면은 대단한 일로.
How many people do you know, and I know lots of people, that would do that? First off, take off by themselves, and I'm going to put it in layman's terms. How many people do you know that have balls enough to get in a vehicle and go do that by themselves, especially a lady?
When I had heard about ghost marriages taking place in China, it made me think of my aunt in Korea, who passed away without having any children and family of her own. I hope you're in peace. I will always miss you. In an attempt to better understand this ancient tradition of ghost marriage, I'll be visiting 2 villages from the Shanxi province, which is a mountainous area in the northwest part of China. Arrangements have been made with Mr. Liu, historic cultural expert of Hogo Village, to share his story as well as a yin and yang master.
咱现在来到的这是后沟的龙王庙，这里供奉的这位龙王了，你已经不能说是理解成这种一般概念上的龙王了，你必须理解成他是后沟的龙王。为什么呢？因为他在后沟，他有他自己专属的名字，他在后沟他叫四龙王，他在后沟 人们还认定他有一个专门的媳妇儿，这个媳妇儿呢，而且是个凡人。
那从古至今讲死了必须得配偶，因为你有后代有儿女，必须得给人家配上。有钱当然配个脏的，没钱的配个白面的，这都是农村的。
但是必须得配。
必须得配。配了你才能尽到你后代的责任了，才能完善。我就自从开这个村庄建立以来，就一直老祖先就在这儿居住了，就这个情况。俺的17代，晚上是懂这个营养，懂营养，它就是关于阴间和阳间的事头。
Essentially, a yin and yang master is like a mystic philosopher. They have a spiritual connection with the deities, and they can guide people if requested, such as selecting auspicious dates for the wedding, funeral, and where to live. Here, I've asked him to create a customized talisman for my production crew members as well as myself. Master Fan shares 3 things that are essential for this protection. Moonshine, red ink, and a special calligraphy pen.
他能够娶到一个凡人做媳妇儿了，就是因为有一年他被抬出去祈雨的时候发生的这个事情。我们榆次的一个村庄叫龙田村，龙田村民把他神像抬到村里的时候呢，就是有一个小姑娘在房上偷偷的看这个龙王了，偷偷看的，结果掉下来就给摔死了。摔死了以后，当时就是按照村民的一种理解，就说这个小姑娘。 龙王把她娶了做媳妇儿了，当时呢，村民就这样认定了，然后呢，祈完雨后呢，就把那个小姑娘和龙王一起都送回这里来了，而且就从此就认下，就说龙田村民就认下说这个龙王是我们村的女婿了，因为他娶了我们村的姑娘。这种认法其实它和中国人这种冥婚的这种习俗和这种理念，它是相吻合的，就是因为。 他有这种习俗嘛，就人死了以后，仍然是可以嫁的嘛。
This is Master Ma. He's another yin and yang master, but from a nearby village in Changling. As you can see, he has a penthouse view in this village.
从海到海头以前就有了那个庄子。 以前的庙房呢是挨算是有阶段的狗庙房，他说我不知道就是挨到历史记载，它就是和皇上级的后庙房，特别是男的些死了噻，女的算了，还是有一些就是都小了噻，男的死了必须在皇的后照了，胸罩的那种外头的，哦。现在在民间就是咱们在这时代发展的长了在了，就不晓得是讲究都了。 所以在庙房头有在话，比如现在的说吧，有钱没钱。
Following Master Ma and his wife for a day, it was nice to see how much he cares about Mrs. Ma. I am told this is her 2nd marriage. They have no children together.
弄什么呀？弄完了要不拿我们？
不好，那不是先跑的吧？来。
爸。
你好。 哦。其实，如果说胡的说把哈的了，你说胡的那个
Here, Master Ma is doing his daily work as a yin and yang master. and gives guidance for a father who's about to attend a wedding. We also asked Master Ma if there's any way to find other participants who have conducted these ghost marriages in his village. Convincing him to find one or two was not easy as we thought.
不是，主要是看的是愿意，再不是那个人喜欢的，说啥看的愿意，简单不愿意。
是没有那种就是，活人和死人的那种冥婚吧？
没了，
没 ，no。
找外面的去看，找嘛内地没到。
First of all, is my friend, South African videographer Toby Ovenshaw, contacted me to ask me, do you know people, a priest who would be willing to perform ghost wedding for Maria, a Korean bride? And I thought, that's a bit of an odd question at first. And I thought, okay, maybe Yellow Pages, or maybe just local temple, Taoist temple, because this is a particular Taoist tradition.
I've heard of this ghost wedding thing before. People tell you in Taiwan, if you see a red envelope on the floor, don't pick it up, because that means somebody's trying to trap you into picking up the envelope, and then you have to marry their dead daughter.
I was introduced to Toby on Facebook. It was due to his networking connections with like-minded artists. I was glad that I had chosen Taiwan as another destination to marry.
It's quite an unknown subject, unknown to almost anybody, especially to young people. It's unknown. And maybe some people feel a bit creepy and unsettled about the idea of ghost marriage. Anyway, so it's all went okay. So obviously Toby went back to you to say, we got somebody who is willing to perform for you, and we arranged like the cost and everything. Just some minor detail, basic detail.
Traditionally in Taiwan, the bride's family will give away engagement cake and sweets for their guests and family. So I decided to bake them myself with the help of pastry chef Morgan and Kelvin.
Because what we're doing is such a traditional
Yeah.
pineapple cake, which you said earlier, it's known as a wedding cake?
Yes, it's traditionally is a wedding cake. The wedding cake is not like Western wedding cake. Yeah, pineapple, the pronunciation in Taiwanese means it's online. Online. Yeah, that means kind of good fortune.
Okay,
Can bring
good
the good
fortune.
luck. Yeah, so it's kind of popular, always popular, like when you pray to the God.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're doing some business.
These are going to be given away
Yeah.
to my wedding guest
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Calvin's going to show his version of it, how to package the traditional ancient dessert pineapple cake. And then Morgan is going to show us her version, modern twist of the nougat, and how to package that. So, old and the new. So look at this. Look at how thoughtful Calvin and Morgan are. They got this special wrap that has bride and groom getting married in a very authentic Chinese style.
And we found this priest who was very open and very interested in able to do this.
That priest is like a celebrity. He's so on board with doing films and being in the cinema, being in the picture and everything.
He was very keen, and he really wanted to help. We went there, we went to check out the place, we went through the procedure and everything, and then everything was ready. And he said, okay, so it's all good, we're going to do this thing, but I'm going to have to throw the bobway, the divining blocks.
Maria's hope was actually marry a real dead person. I said, is there a slight possibility that you could arrange that? The priest said that, yes, there's a possibility for the dead. And I was a little bit shocked. Who is this then? He said, it's my dead brother-in-law who died 10 years ago.
This is the last part of the offering. I really do believe this trip was meant to be. Whatever happens, I'm leaving it up to them to take care of. And hopefully this wedding on July 1st is one to be remembered. So this is $5.90. This is supposedly for my groom. So I hope my groom appreciates this gift.
But literally the Monday he called up and he was very, very apologetic and really heartbroken. And he said that he threw the divining blocks and the answer came up no.
Like this. So this means you gotta do it again.
He has performed maybe over 15 or 20 ghost marriages, and he has never failed. Because I know how important this is for Maria and how important this is for our temple as well, and for Taiwan as well. So I went to the temple next door, which is a Mazu temple, and I also tried Mazu temple to see whether there's a slight chance that Mazu will agree, which is the goddess, sea goddess, whether she will agree to let Maria go ahead with this ghost wedding, and that also failed. It has never ever happened in my career. And he said, I genuinely couldn't help. And I did shoot out a few questions, because it was such a total drop from the whole from last night. Suddenly, from high up there to completely nothing.
I talked about earlier about filming a funeral where there were pole dancers, which is something that happens occasionally in Taiwan. And we had 2 cameras break down on that shoot. One of them, just as we started shooting the dead body. And the facilities house that we rented the equipment from actually called up my assistant and said, you go to the temple and you go and do the bye-bye because you're dealing with bad spirits here and my equipment is getting broken. And so we did that.
So I said, is there any possibility that we could still make it happen or anything? He said no, because if the spirit doesn't agree, there's something wrong and it couldn't go ahead. If it go ahead, it will still not be right. And everybody got involved would be more or less cursed.
There are major implications here because if you marry, a dead person, you are connected to that family and you have to be really, really careful. And the priests will always tell you, you have to do this with the right heart and with the right spirit. If you do this wrong, then bad luck is going to follow you.
So I feel so disappointed I missed it.
他创在最少得个3块状态，3个小时。
这算点喜丧的这种感觉，因为也是。
对，然后呢，一讲是80头来嘛，想呢就是个咱们这个84，其实是10年。
他等了10年来跟他这个老妻子。
10年，可以吵的了，可以30年、50年。再是那个么在那个汉朝对不对？
那个是女的，那个是。
再是男的，再是女的，再是那台龙高头那个来。那就一转嘛，又在台龙高头，当时双龙台，再就是人的修字嘛，过来的块草名，这是修字。
Yes. Yeah, son is the one who started the whole entire thing, right? Obligation. Okay.
Master Ma agreed to take us to a burial site where a ghost marriage was performed the previous day. In our short ride together, he shared his earlier life as a vinegar factory worker, but decided to follow his heart and become a yin and yang master. Even if it meant he had to be extra careful since he could attract all kinds of energy that may be both harmful and useful. His general optimism and positive energy were admirable. The couples are buried on their land next to their family members who are also buried nearby. Here on this burial site, the deceased family will plant these mourning sticks using the willow tree branches, carrying this tradition down from generation to generation.
苗黄，它闭关的这个啥子，死了都在藏在12岁以上，直到50岁以下。他在那个在脚在在狗上在脚地方数来算，他是不破朝来国防一国，我还带了，所以啥是他就是必须的就是假的，比方的是面对象，纸对象，他必须得给我排个队。
这个找对象这个就联络个媒人啊，还有个介绍哈子，常在我们当中时候就给他买张来不是就，合到一块儿了，他合到没人叫媒嘛，他这个你合到媒得了是点得些，媒小了是点休息。
笔画还得得来
啊，也是来得掉的。
Mr. Fan is a sanitation worker. His village has a population of 247 in total. He told me that many of the young people have left for better jobs in the city, including his own children. When we asked him about his deceased older brother, without too much sadness, Mr. Fan had agreed to be interviewed.
我是4个兄弟姐妹，2个男的，2个女的，就在这儿去生活长大的，上学长大的啊。我提俺2个话是那是就个翻英说。反正说类似那是就俺们就红袖类了，那意思是红葡萄类，女的带点，挺带劲的一个人啊。他在好像处事这些各方面都好，有时候是就是我小了留着我，留那个他病的时候是，俺们以为说是他腰着了，就是撞的了还打他，所以说就还是就留我。病时候是给我找了个医生，给我喝了些鸦片，喊了些是不定时。他们那时候是7月12，他改回的了。俺们是上地的了，俺们是改回的了，回来是死了，地上还挖个洞嘛。
还有就是，说是你这2个去世的时候，不是说是他12岁小就。没老在堵得该，只有男的。
只有男的就，如果他是不白了，这按从面习惯来说，从做缺钙来说，你这就是就让我们修好了，就是没老意思是外甥了，你就是做到不合适哈，你老人呢不管了，
Mr. Liu has agreed to take us to the Hogo Village Cemetery.
大家现在眼前看到这一片，这就全是坟地了。这是咱们后沟张姓的坟地，这个坟地已经有400多年了。其实中间的坟，其实现在已经没有人祭祀了，只有边上的坟，它是离现代人比较近的，和现代人，就是他亲属关系还是比较近的时候，还有人在祭祀。里面的坟已经没有人祭祀了，也走不到里面去了。像中间的那棵树，像那种树，都是当时。埋葬亲人的时候，我们中国叫哭丧棒。这个哭丧棒了，它是一般都是用柳木做的，它就是现成的结的柳树上的柳枝、柳干。这个了，就是当时埋完把亲人葬下以后了，这个哭丧棒它会埋在他的坟前，埋在坟前以后，有的它就发芽就长起来了。
你动不过，你这拽下去下来这么光，哎，你拽下去干棺材的，你这个小的它毕竟是经骨头嘛，它都小骨头你可以用个小的看嘛。这人体你刚是不是肥胖，你必须得就要大的。你人石头配干啥，就是肉体都没有了，就是丢些骨层了，它可以放到下头的，可以拿下走了。那意思就是搬家了，要搞拆迁呀，要不让你住了，搬出来了。哎，你把南方这个好就把杂二去挖好了，你去年去了年这个好，刚年味挖好，只叫后车拉好拉回来，走多少，是的和画的是一样，哎，是的是吧？的画的是吧？人是。坏了的和死的道理都是一样，有钱走好的没钱走了，人家好人家了，你就是钱多些；有的好人家不差于钱，你不要钱就算是这就和市场行做生意高门卖的道理是一样。
When we were going through the complication with priest number 2, you told Toby that you had a dream.
It all began a week before my trip to Taiwan. I'm not sure if it was my anticipation to be married to the departed. I was dreaming that my future mother-in-law had been visiting me for that entire week. She would appear wearing a fitted Chinese dress, looking beautiful as she greeted me with her smile. Her presence did not scare me, and her repeated visits during 3 to 4 a.m. were extraordinary. I think even my mom was concerned about my dreams, but all had vanished the day that the complication occurred, when the divine blocks did not grant my wish to marry the dead.
Backup plan B is to go back to the first priest who agreed to do it anyway. But the first priest has already outright told me at the very beginning that he is not willing to do a dead man at all, not at all. He has already said that. Even again, a drama could turn real, and the implication is too huge. He's not taking responsible, or his temple is not taking responsible for this. It's not a responsibility.
I had no other choice but to come up with a character named Howard Chen, who would come alive through my reenactment.
I try to invite my friends to your wedding. None of them want to go. They will say, "Oh my God, you don't want to go there." It's I will go there, but maybe no. And none of my friends, they say it's at night, a ghost wedding. But I don't care. But still, a lot of people care about that because, yeah, I don't know. Even though people are modern, but in terms of religion, like or ghosts, gods.
You know, I'm donating some of my clothes to represent the dead groom. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bit uncomfortable about wearing those clothes again.
But Maria first said that maybe you could be the bridesmaid. But there's no bridesmaid in ghost wedding. That's the other thing. There's no bridesmaid in ghost wedding. Why? Because nobody wants to be bridesmaid.
It's because they don't want to be the next to marry the departed.
You need somebody to actually right by your side to show you, to guide you what to do. And there doesn't seem to be anybody that can do the job much better than me. Anyway, so I said, okay, I'll be the matchmaking.
I wanted to know how matches are made for the living in the big cities. I had heard about how popular the marriage market is in Beijing. There, I'll be meeting Rufina, who will help me with the interviews and translations.
I'm from Xinjiang, and now I am studying at Beijing.
Rufina's background is quite interesting. She is originally from Xinjiang, the northwestern part of China, where the population is largely Muslim. It borders the country of Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Pakistan. During the interview, many marriage market participants thought she was the foreigner, and I was her translator.
This is called, what is this website called?
Weibo. Yes,
Weibo.
it's Chinese version of Twitter.
And the headline says, I'm looking for a son.
No, he said it's a Chinese style of blind date, and his son is just 33 years old, and he would not consider who hasn't have a Beijing household registration. They are looking for people who has Beijing household registration.
And this has received tremendous amount of
yes
criticism.
Yeah, this is, how could you talk like that? I went for some people and they said no video, no photo, just ask some questions. I asked several questions about a man here, and he told me that he has 3 sons and none of them get married. Yes, and I asked him how often would be there, and he said every Sunday. It's a rule, it's something like a rule every Sunday because there are many people. Maybe this park or other park, he will also go to other parks. He said his sons also agree with that because they have no a way to know other people, you know. But here you can meet all kind of people, so they want to have a try. She is a member of Communist Party of China. And even some situation of their parents, her father is retired and her mother is retired. And her mother used to be a teacher and now retired. And the contact number. This girl graduated from. That's a famous university. It's a Beijing Language University. 这位是您的儿子是吗？是您的儿子。那您觉得成功的几率高吗？
成功的几率也有。我来有3年了，我是每礼拜，有的时候你要来就礼拜日来，礼拜日下午。就是好多年了，
就是类似于
好几十年了，好像
好几十年了是吗？
好像20多年了吧。哪个公园都有啊。天南是上午，这中山公园是下午。他们是采访是干嘛？他们是外。
This is our third person
yes,
we're interviewing.
Person.
Okay.
This is his first day to come here, and he has already got some numbers. And I asked the rate of numbers, and he said maybe he looked for 100 people. That is just example, not the real number. He just gave me example. Maybe 100 people, they can exchange their contact numbers with 2 or 3 people only. And also something about 门当户对. 门当户对 in Chinese is it's something like a proverb. It means they are matched in social and economic status.
And this one?
Macau. This one from Macau. Oh, he has already migrated to Australia.
Oh, so
yes.
The girl has to be able to travel with him.
He wished the girl could have a stable job in Australia. 哦，就是说来跟你咨询的基本上60个，就是100个里面60个都会跟你交换微信是吗？哦，但是最后都基本不成。
能见面的50%。
就是你们的孩子会怎么想呢？他们是支持你们来这里的吗？
他反正也不支持也不反对。
就是说试试，因为吧中国人的传统就是要传宗接代，我们就是要
我们嘛就是为了尽责任。
我们要孙子，我们要闹闹。那你这人类
不传承不没人了，
没有了。
地球不就？好像一个人不结婚，10个人不结婚没关系。
你外国人
都这样
不
结婚，不就没人了吗？
那你不结婚，那外国人
人类不自然灭亡了吗？
能跟中国人比吗？中国人多强大，我们有人，
这个很好，
是不是？我们100个人里头有1个能造原子弹的就行。
现在为什么要生要生？
全世界就都得害怕。
Atomic bomb. That's just a funny example, you know. He just told it funny. It's something like he told me like there will be more people to devote themselves in some things, some smart things. Yes.
But they're doing this for sake of their children. In a search to better understand how the dead bodies are matched and sold with the departed, we decided to head to the south. City of Pingyang, a well-preserved ancient town with a population of 50,000. The city has over 100 streets and lanes, 17 to 19th century shops and residences living inside the city wall.
下一次啊，你上个不要说话了啊，来 ，OK 后边。
就是也没有，就是买卖尸体，然后来结姻亲这种事情。
去年正月里吧，去年正月就是情人节那一天，有一个女的，她就是出车祸死了，出车祸死了以后，后来她就啥了，就跟这个太原小弟那个年龄也差不多，都是20岁左右，他们就拍了。
和我们这关系的算是弟兄，实际上是相当于父亲的关系。俺的事实是我是11岁，俺二跟他相干，我让去，几乎就是
出了楼道
就是楼道，还是非常仔细，舍不得插后的。
怕花钱，所以并没有交代你给他做这个事情。
这后账也是，这给事实还也不久后账。
就是他多大年龄了？那会儿他过世的时候是多大
？70岁。
73。
这事情就是在60几年时候咱们国家是空难时候，50多少死了。
这巧妙，盖这个巧妙。巧妙是很就不要用药，那是主要是吃俺那个儿子人家给刷了一针还是病啥的，你就刷了一针，到去年是给说也不是亡药，去年那骨头也不亡药，不主治亡药，只是让就给了你2个去后头走就行，反正是年轻了说是病啥的。
您是怎么找见这个女孩的呢？就是同样过世的这个女人。
同样过世的是我就是走时就是看买药啊，就是我们在贩药的在那。
放羊的人放羊的人多，
这个就妄想的看回双妄想的。这个死了一下，那是9年是10年，他死了9年是10年，病啥的，是就讲伤的病找不了仔细嘛。
那能不能问您一下，您哥哥他是73，他也是正常的这个过世？
癌症。
癌症也是癌症，相当 当于活人的彩礼有没有给这笔钱呢
2万来块结婚了。
2万。哦。How much was the whole ghost wedding?
4万多。4万多。
到20岁左右，他们给拍了。男方他是给女方，大部分就是个5万左右吧。
过去在那时候这肯定是得给人家女方那个钱吧，一天是花了个1万块钱。
那有听过有别的他们就是有偷尸体或者是偷别人的骨头去做冥婚这种事情吗？
不是特殊情况吧，也有偷来的了。世界之大，那个事情是有，可是要不然在这个地方是不偷，他都要正式的渠道办理了，就这个情况，
因为还是要正当的
渠道。中国他只是买。今天正好村里去世了个人嘛，你采访啥的，看一下。
We tried our best to document the deceased family and pay our condolences. But we really wanted to document the dead. However, we were told over and over again that seeing the dead before a proper burial would bring bad luck to the entire village. We were discouraged from pursuing this mission.
.因为他们有了这个认识以后呢，就是，他们龙田人就形成一个习俗，就是每年的2月2要来拜这个龙王，而且呢，这个事情，据我考证，它应该是真的，因为就是他这个龙王他娶的那个媳妇儿，她叫于淑娘，她是有名有姓的，而且现在为止，龙田村还仍有姓于的人家，而且姓于的人家，他们也承认，就说很早以前。他们家族是有一个姑娘被龙王娶走了。
Okay, so we are on the way to the temple right now, where we're going to have the ghost wedding, and it's quite high up here in the mountain of Shiche, outside Taipei. We're excited to go and talk to the priest and meet the people there and plan out the event.
I'm told this used to be an area for coal miners many years ago.
Mr. Lee is my friend and he has agreed to be Maria's father.
Thank you so much.
I didn't realize that Mr. Lin is a celebrity chef who specializes in banquet cooking. It is due to his suggestions that we were able to secure my wedding venue at this temple.
Say hello to you. I'm saying hello to your husband.
So are we rehearsing right now?
No. Just because it's
Oh, okay, wow.
So yeah, that's how
This is my departed spouse, Howard Chen. Come tomorrow, I will be married to his spirit, connected by a red thread. This is Mazu, the sea goddess, who has permitted me to marry Howard Chen, with the first priest officiating. Katie tells me that the statue was initially placed on a small table. Subsequently, people began to believe in supernatural power. Even the temple owners were surprised. It is due to these kinds of miracles that the temple became what it is today.
So the god will stand there.
Here I am told my wedding will be endorsed by the God's seal of approval.
是证婚的，就是神明替你们证婚。
这个神明的印章哦，
替你们证
Yeah,
婚。
this is the seal from the god.
It's 3 o'clock. I have 2 hours to go before I say another I do, but this time in a temple. I'm surrounded by beautiful landscape and nature. This is the first wedding. I don't have to worry whether my groom's going to show up or not. I know for the fact that he's departed, and this is reenactment, that My groom is already there, anxiously waiting. I hope the weather is not going to pour on us because Taipei, over the time I've learned in 4 days, occasionally rains or it could rain every single day. Good luck in the wedding day, but this is like a whole lot of rain, don't you think?
Mr. Lin is burning goods for the gods' blessing on my wedding day.
为此来恭请来担负后院夫君来为此来娶子来扶囝为此供来咱的官前来拜谢祖先来请起来。千里好言一线天大路东沿路，有两路不对，连基的先天水先天。 油烟起起，行动万里，香烟沉沉，烈相子港来临。今有新人，该伊报警啊，该亡过单何女夫君啊，将阮真阳强义，该婚三严显灵做事了，做事路见天伦真阳拜，再向两拜，三向两拜。
I'm about to marry my departed spouse, Howard Chen. I didn't fully understand the entire ghost wedding process, but it was as if Howard was on my side, guiding me through the ceremony. Strangely enough, it may have been due to the guests attending this wedding as well. I felt very warm and at ease towards the end of this ritual. I almost wanted to cry when our marriage certificate was officiated.
前港主新婚大吉大利，平安如意。大前做事新婚来感应，为主新婚何以该新人？将这伊报警来平安顺时，身体康健啊，孝顺同乡父表，为之亡国该夫婿等和女夫君啊，来早日超生，东盘跳下新姻拜，再跳下新姻拜，三跳下新姻拜。再跳下新姻拜，满跳下新姻拜，欢喜哦！
Now, I'm officially married to my husband, Howard Chen.
冥婚这个习俗，中国自古就有。说到这个冥婚的这个习俗的起源了，现在人，一般人来，他就是说是老祖宗传下来的。但是老祖宗为什么会传下这样一个习俗呢？据我的考证，它是和中国文化观念相关的。中国的文化观念里头，它有一个阴阳观念。这个阴阳观念在中国文化里是一个很重要的观念，就是说。中国人把任何的事物，大都看作它有阴和阳两部分组成的，只有阴阳相合的时候，这个事物它才会生发、发展、成长。如果阴和阳没有结合，那么它就会死掉，就不会有任何的发展下去了。
Thank you so much for working. It's pastry all made by hand. Pineapple cake, and nougat. Thank you. Yes. John volunteered, and he thought that he was gonna just hold power in the basket. Can you tell me how it was for you?
I thought I was gonna hold the basket for a short time.
Actually, the wedding lasted almost 3 hours.
And then put it somewhere, but I didn't know I had to participate the whole ceremony. But it was a brand new experience for me. And as I hold the basket for a while, I thought I had some link with it. Like I really thought it was my brother or like someone I knew.
Yeah.
So I actually had that feeling like I was happy for him.
Oh, you were happy for him?
In the process, even though like I couldn't really be happy, like I cannot show that on my face.
Yeah.
But I had that feeling inside me.
How was it for you?
This is a really great opportunity for us because this is a tradition that we learned or we heard about when we were kids, but no one is like a taboo, like no one really wanted to talk about it, no one really wanted to experience it because, you know, there's some kind of fear.
Han, you felt that energy through that red string that we were connecting each other.
Yeah.
So there was a moment, it was a very sentimental moment. It was not happiness, it was not sadness, that moment of wow, I'm honoring something and I'm glad to have been part of it.
冥婚的习俗在稍早之前是因为从大户人家因为有姑娘就是先亡者夭折大户人家为了感念他说，因为他是孤苦伶仃要让他帮他的夫家，让他有所归宿这样以后他才有办法去往生，然后再转世然后延续到现在下来，还是有这样的传统一直在延续。因为男女都有他的缘分在，所以说还是有男的王者，女的愿意嫁给男的王者，因为在生之前有所缘分的延续下来，所以说他们愿意做这一项的习俗的传承，然后延续名扬两界的这种感情就像第六感生死恋一样，所以说一直这样延续下来，这是很有意思的一项传统，还有说它的意义在，让杨氏跟明者各有所安慰。
We also asked the priest, due to the fact that the practice of ghost marriages are declining, how he felt about these changes. I think he had arranged a ghost marriage 14 years ago. Are you sad by this change?
因为他的知识水准也比较高一点，所以说他因为这样的做这种习俗，他们比较不能接受。还有说台湾的宗教的传统也很多，那个外来的宗教也很多。那对于这种亡者、冥者的想要安定跟安慰的方式，他们就比较排斥。所以说这样子的冥婚的习俗会渐渐的没有。
Shortly after we were married, our story came out in the Taipei Times. As the reporter stated, that I ended up in Taiwan ready to be married with a dead husband. I do believe that nothing about my wedding was accidental. To my surprise, one of my translators later shared that she has taken full responsibility to arrange a ghost marriage for her deceased father. Her mother has since remarried and did not wish to be buried with her dad, who had died due to a coal mining accident 20 years earlier.
So when you first contact me and tell me you want to know more about the ghost wedding, actually I didn't know. I knew nothing about that at that time. Yes, so I never visit the yin-yang master or funeral shop or coffin shop. How yin-yang master to select the lucky date for new couple and for the date for the funeral. When I was only 13 years old, my father died in a coal mine accident. My father has passed away for 20 years now. Yeah, my mother just got married my stepfather because my stepfather is a very, very good man. Yes, and but I have to respect my mother. So, from the deep heart, I wish my mother can be buried with my father together. But now, I have to respect her opinion, her idea.
It's been a fascinating journey. I am reminded again and again how big and massive China is, including diversity in people, language, differences in dialect and their beliefs. How beauty still lies everywhere in art, architecture, even in urban city surroundings. But most importantly, their respect for family and honoring ancestors are an essential part of their everyday lives. This journey awakened my desire to learn more about my roots as a Korean American.
It's circle. It's straight. This is June.
Here, I've decided to honor my deceased aunt in Korea. Dear Como, you're always in my heart.
When signing the marriage certificate, I didn't notice that, but when I came home, I noticed that the priest has actually changed his birthday. He has changed Maria's, that's Maria's Chinese, he had changed Maria's to May the 10th. And he has changed Howard's, both born in May, and their birthday is, one is 10th and one's 21st. So I was thinking, he must have done it on purpose. Maybe he thinks this will bring good fortune to this whole event, or something that is a spiritual thing. So I'm pleased that he done it, and I'm sure, I'm confident that he done it for a good reason. But I think that's quite a good story or details to know about.